We admire impressive and intricate structures like the Eiffel Tower and the London Tower Bridge. But if you think about it, as magnificent as these structures are, they rely on very basic yet crucial concepts, which is force. Understanding this concept is what makes these architectural marvels possible. So, what is force actually? Simply put, force is just anything that causes the change in the velocity of a body. We encounter forces every day when we push a car, kick a ball, or even just walk. Although we can't see or touch forces directly, they are constantly at play in our daily interactions. Thankfully, Sir Isaac Newton simplified this concept with his laws of motion. Let's break down each law. The first law of motion, which is usually called the law of inertia, states that a body will remain at rest or continue in constant motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. For example, a ball will stay still unless something pushes it. If the ball is kicked, it will keep moving unless another force, like say friction or gravitational pull, slows it down. On Earth, gravity and friction always act on moving objects, which is why the ball eventually stops. But in the vacuum of space, without these forces, the ball will keep moving forever until another unbalanced force acts on it. Now let's deal with the second law of motion by Isaac Newton. This law explains that force is the product of mass and acceleration. Simply put, it's just when you apply more force to an object, it will accelerate faster. For a constant mass, the harder you push, the quicker it moves. For example, pushing an empty shop cart is easier than a fully loaded one because the loaded cart has more mass. So when you're talking about the third law of motion, which is for every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, when you push something, it pushes back with the same amount of force. For example, a man standing on the ground, he exerts a force equal to the weight on the ground, and the ground pushes back with an equal force, keeping the man upright. So these laws are not just theoretical, they are the foundation of structural engineering. Looking at this Eiffel Tower, the forces of gravity and the wind are balanced by the structure's wide base and strong diagonal beams, demonstrating the equilibrium of forces. And equilibrium of forces can be traced back to the first and third laws, as we have explained, of motion. And also the London Tower Bridge, it has the tensions in cable and compression in the beams, and these are calculated using the basic understanding of these laws. So from the simplest actions, like say kicking a ball, or to the most complex structures like these structures we have talked about, force is everywhere. So understanding Newton's laws of motion help us not only interact with the world but also shape it in remarkable ways. So when next you are interacting with structures, be it you are designing structures, calculating forces, or anything at all in structural engineering, you should always understand that you are doing your calculations and your designs based on the understanding of this simple concept of force. Force is very important. Like and share if you like this video, and for more content.